Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it is Wednesday, February the 28th. Hopefully, you're having a good week. We've got a great show for you for the next half hour. I'm live at the HCCTV studios this morning, and I'm joined by Montrose Cunningham out there at the Northwest College, who's my co-host this morning. You know, Montrose, this seems like it's going to be the longest month because we have that extra day. It's leap year. So believe it or not, tomorrow, still in February. We should be over by now, right?
Yes, yes. Actually, it's fun. I have a good friend whose anniversary is on the 29th. So I have to ask him what they do when there's not a leap year.
It's funny because I have two friends that they were married on the 29th as well. And they always tell me we celebrate the last day of February, no matter what,
Wow. Okay.
So because I thought, well, it's kind of cool. You only have to worry about this once every 4 years or so. But
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't work that way. No, doesn't work that way. But we want to thank all of you for watching us live this morning. We're here Mondays through Fridays, most of them, at 10 a.m. during when HCC is in session. But Montrose, there's no excuse for not catching us because you can always watch us on social media and on our cable channel as well.
That's right. We're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, and also the YouTube page. We're also on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Do we need to keep saying that? Does everyone know X is?
I think everybody's kind of cool that it's X, but it's weird because, when you say, people still say, well, I tweeted something. So that'll
Yeah,
never go away.
as opposed to I X'd something. So
Yeah.
we're also on X, LinkedIn, and on HCC TV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right, Montrose, I think you know this next guest. And with Small Business Wednesday, by the way, and have you ever wondered how those businesses get on Google Maps? Well, we've got an expert who's going to help you out with all of those. Beth Guide is the president and owner of Vertical Web, and she's also a Google certified partner. Beth, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you, Todd.
We're looking forward to hearing from you. So Montrose will be with you in about 10 minutes. All right, talent engagement is getting ready to go on the road. They've got a road show they're working on right now, and our next guest is going to tell us all about it. Izzy Anderson is our HCC Vice Chancellor and Chief Human Resources Officer. Welcome back to the show, Izzy.
Thank you so much. It's always great to visit with you guys.
Yeah, so I imagine it's always fun to get out of the office for the day, and you guys have a number of events coming up where you're going to be on the road talking to our faculty and staff, I would imagine. Tell us what you have planned for your upcoming road shows.
Absolutely. And, we did about 3 of them in the fall, and we'll do the rest of them in the spring. And so this effort is really to ensure that talent engagement, the leadership team, and members of the team are out at the colleges where all of the action and the teaching and the learning is happening. And we come to you and provide you a full day where usually we are always at the various locations from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And so we've got 3 coming up. We just finished one yesterday at Central Campus. And what happens at those road shows is we will have every sub-unit within talent engagement represented, from payroll to benefits to talent learning and development to really any and all transactions and interactions that you have with talent engagement will be represented at those road shows. So there are actual members of the teams there to answer questions, provide information and resources. Additionally, we also have 2 presentations at every single roadshow, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Usually the morning one starts at 10:30, the afternoon at 1. We do try to give people time for their lunch and other things. And so if you're out there at the various campuses, please come out and benefit from these presentations. We rotate on benefits. We will either do a presentation on retirement, getting ready for retirement, or on the Social Security information that many of us have so many questions around, Medicare, right, et cetera. So those are one of the 2 that are always rotated. The other one that is going to be consistent at every single roadshow this spring semester is going to be on compensation, which is certainly a big topic for any and all faculty and staff member here at HCC. We have a compensation study that is currently underway, and this presentation provides every single member of the HCC community an opportunity to A, learn about compensation, what it is, how it happens, and B, hear about the compensation study and have an opportunity to ask questions.
would have been, I know you were just at Central. What's been some of the reaction, number one, or what are some of the common questions that you'll get when you're out there, or the concerns that people may have?
Right. Well, I'll focus a little bit on compensation because it is a big topic. We've gotten a lot of great feedback around how is it that HCC creates the salary bands, if you will. Why do some positions get paid at certain levels versus others? One thing that I was very glad to hear come up is the recognition by our members of faculty and staff that, compensation is an important piece, but it's not everything. That in addition to the compensation, they really want to see additional work around just culture, change management, which are all, as you know, very, very important pieces of the overall employee experience, but really great interaction from all of our members.
I know we've had just here at the district offices, we had a meeting with the staff senate most recently. How is the relationship going with the faculty and staff senates? How's that's moving forward?
Oh my gosh, it couldn't be better. Faculty Senate, of course, has been around for a long time. They are a very developed and established group that interacts with the administration. And so that is I would say, very well established. What's really exciting is the staff senate. For those of you that don't know, HCC has an inaugural staff senate group, and I was part of the design team along with Kurt Ewan and others. Mr. Aaron Henry, now our president of the staff senate, was certainly integral in ensuring that we develop that group so that we can have that interaction with them. And so we've had at least one meeting with the staff senate group to really get them up to speed on how they collaborate and participate in the compensation study. We have a very well-established process with Faculty Senate, and we certainly expect to do the same with Staff Senate. I've also asked Mr. Henry to please invite me to a Staff Senate meeting and let me know when I'm able to come in along with the team members to talk about the comp study. That's yet another opportunity for us to get before every staff member as it relates to the staff senate around this study and provide them opportunities and avenues to ask questions and give us their input. The same is true for the faculty senate. Dejan Grigsby, our faculty senate president, has me on the calendar. I need to go back and check, but it's coming up where I will be coming in with the team members to discuss the comp study and again, give them an opportunity. There is usually a compensation subcommittee, if you will, that really focuses on that process and how they participate and collaborate with the administration as we go through the study and ultimately in the presentation that will be made to the Board of Trustees.
I know you're also working with the chief academic officer, the interim senior vice chancellor, but are you also playing a role with the chancellor's upcoming listening tour that she'll be doing?
Oh yes, she's definitely got, a full schedule in March. And so we look forward to coming out and being there to support her and answer any technical questions that come up, as I am sure our faculty senate president and our staff senate president will also be in attendance. So we're looking forward to that. Please, if you haven't seen, there was an email that got sent out that gives you the list of where Chancellor Ford Fisher will be. So come out and give us all your questions. We're ready.
Yeah, I know there was an email that went out this morning, folks. So if you haven't seen it yet, you should find it in your email. Look for it. And we'll also be talking about that at the end of our show where the chancellor will be going. Izzy Anderson, we appreciate you being here. She is our vice chancellor and chief human resources officer. We'll have all the information on your roadshow in our social media post after the show.
Thank you so much, Todd. Pleasure being
Thanks,
here.
Izzy. Good seeing you. All right, Montrose, I'm going to turn things over to you because you've got a special guest that you know quite well.
That's right. We are moving on to Beth Guide, president and owner of Vertical Web, a Google certified partner and leader of getting your business on the Google map. And one of the things I have to say, I really like, I've worked with Beth for a long time, and she has the ability to take all this tech stuff and break it down to where everybody can understand it. So I'm really excited about having her. Welcome to the show, Beth.
Hi, Montrose. It's good to see you.
You too. So, let's see. So tonight, HCC's Northwest Center for Entrepreneurship and SCORE will continue another monthly digital marketing clinic to help small businesses create a visual presence on the Google Map. So tell us the general information, the time that it's going to be held online, and what the participants can expect.
Okay, well, we're about to enter our 5th year with HCC doing our digital marketing clinic. So that's a little bit of a milestone for us this year to get started. And we figured the best topic that we could do for small business owners is to give them the ability to get their business visible within Google and Google's ecosystem. Google's gotten quite complicated through the years, but it does offer programs for small business. When you type in a search term and a map appears, your business needs to be on that map. So most of our business owners that we see, especially that come through the Center for Entrepreneurship, are small localized businesses that would benefit from a local presence. So that they don't have to go try to rank in New York City. They're just perfectly fine to stay in West Houston or West Chase or wherever Alief, wherever they happen to be, and within a certain radius. So we try to get business owners the tips and the tools that they need to be able to accomplish that, and to do it without a huge spend out of pocket, because sometimes this stuff can run into cost. And when you're an upstart business and a startup, you don't have that. So we've always believed in giving back to our community and be able to help small business owners, get their feet under them and get going. And that's really been the basis of that entire clinic from the start of it many years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's really good because I know a lot of small businesses, one of the first things that they talk about is how I don't have time to do this stuff. It's too complicated. It takes too much time. I'm trying to run my business, and then of course they can't afford to pay someone to do that for them. So I think it's really good that we're continuing something like this. So when we're talking about what are some of the tools, just to give us a little tease of something that a business can do to gain exposure?
Well, when we start down this process, Google started this small business program. It's, their Google My Business, Google Business Profiles. They have to be written properly. And the interesting piece of this is tools like ChatGPT have become easily integrated into it. So there's things that you can and can't do with ChatGPT when it comes to Google, but to build your Google business profile and have it assist you is a great way to go about this. And that's a lot of what I'm going to be talking about tonight is, how do you get registered? Why should you get registered? How to stabilize your address. A lot of business owners, they pick virtual offices. How do you handle that? What do we do about that? So there's certain challenges that Google presents, and I want our people to know how to handle those challenges to maximize their success. In addition, the website has to work right, because if it doesn't work right and send the right signals, and you were just saying that a lot of times business owners can't do it, they don't have time to do it, or they get confused by it, and they tend to pick solutions that do not serve their business well in the long run. They're just basically rookie mistakes that, if I can stop them from making them, it's a lot easier to correct a problem by not making the problem than it is to fix a problem. So, I've always tried to get out in front of this for people so that they know, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm going to do the best I can to get there. So I'm trying to teach them how to interface into Google's system and to be able to put what they need out there, have a website that matches it. And when those things agree, you end up, in the top 1, 2, or 3 spots on a map. And those businesses get 85% of the lion's share of the business coming through them. The other thing is, I think sometimes solopreneurs and entrepreneurs don't look at their websites or their Google presences. They should view them as a salesperson. And treat it with the same respect you would treat a salesperson. It basically, if you do it right and nurture it right, it becomes a free resource to generate business for you that you don't have to put time in, you don't have to pay taxes on, you don't have to pay healthcare to. It's literally just sitting there working for you 24/7. And one of the lessons from COVID is the people that invested in their website and their web presence and didn't just pay for ads did a whole lot better coming out the other side of it, because the people that were paying and had these elaborate marketing schemes, they had to shut it all down. People that had great organic search, they never missed a beat and kind of just continued forward. So there's a lot of benefits to setting this up. There's a lot of long-term benefits that'll set them up. And I just thought it's a perfect time to start our 2024 clinic with this type of a topic, because I think everybody needs business at this point. So
Definitely.
so that's my
I know tonight you're also going to have some open discussion time for people to talk about some other things in addition to this. What kind of topics might that include?
Well, what's interesting, the way I structured this program is we have a lot of people coming and going. Somebody else come in January or February, and then they don't come back again until April. So you can't string together a series of things that somebody misses something, they have no idea what you're talking about. So one of the things that we've done is we've allowed it to be more of a clinic type atmosphere where all questions are welcome. If you have a question about how to build your website. What do I need to do with my website? What do I need to do with social media? Or how do I use, technically the Google My Business program really kind of falls more in alignment with a social media type of a situation more than it does a website, but they integrate together and they produce a result in Google. So therefore, how do I use the social media components? And if there's questions on that, we're more than welcome to take those questions. So I think in the 23 years I've been teaching this class, I've had one student that asked me a question I didn't know the answer to. So they come at me with anything that they need to, and we always usually can provide them the best guidance and the best practices and how to get there and what to do with it.
Okay. And besides you, who else is involved with the program this evening?
Well, Sandra Louvier with the Center for David Regenbaum's Center for Entrepreneurship. They have been a big supporter. I had met Sandra years ago, and her and I have been doing this in conjunction with each other now for, like I said, we're starting on our 5th year now. So it's been a great partnership. I'm thrilled to be able to work with that program. The other people that are involved in that is SCORE. SCORE has been a big supporter of the program as well. So between SCORE, the Entrepreneurship Center, and myself, it's just really been a great partnership or collaborative effort between the three to help business owners move their business forward and be able to move a needle. So I think small businesses need that nurturing, and I'm just very glad that we're able to provide it in a way that's helpful to them.
And just to pivot for a little bit, because you said something earlier, you've been teaching this class for 23 years.
Yes, sir.
So you've been in business for how long? You've been doing this for how long?
27.
Yes. So 27 years. As you look at what the internet was then and what it is now, what's like a couple of the biggest changes that you've seen, in this 25 plus years that you've been doing this?
Well, I mean, the level of sophistication of the user, the younger folks have aged up, so their interaction with it is different. I think it all comes down to the individual. If I really think about it, it's not so much the technology of the internet, it's that the user themselves are now able to handle it. In the beginning, you could put up, a 3-page website, excuse me, with some little dancing bears and sell something. You can't do that anymore.
Right. Yeah. I saw a website that of a church that someone my father was looking for, and he said, yeah, look up their website. I could just look at that website and see that it looked like it had been made in the late 90s. So
and it doesn't work anymore is the problem.
Yeah, you can always
That's the real problem, is that people have a expectation, and if you don't meet the expectation, you're not going very far very fast.
Correct. And before we go, I did want to mention that Beth Guide and Vertical Web They're a recurring bronze sponsor of the HCC Business Plan Competition and an in-kind sponsor too. So we really appreciate and thank you for your partnership.
Thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate it.
All right. So thank you to Beth Guy, president and owner of Vertical Web, a Google certified partner and leader of getting your business on the Google map. And we'll have info in our post after the show.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you both. We got a few announcements before we wrap up this morning's show. One of them, Small Business Supplier Expo from HCC's Procurement Department. HCC Small Business Development Program Procurement Operations will host its Supplier Expo, exhibiting promotional products, printing services, IT services, facility maintenance, medical supplies, prizes, and food, all of that together. It's 2 to 4 p.m. next Tuesday, March the 5th, in our auditorium here at 3100 Main. Check our post after the show for more information and learn how to register for this event. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, talent engagement has a lot of things going on, Montrose.
That's right. And it's the Talent Engagement Lunch and Learn. Fraud awareness is the subject. And I got to tell you, just working at HCC, you're going to gain 50 pounds because so many of the things we do have food associated with them. Yeah. In recognition of International Fraud Awareness, this Lunch and Learn webinar will present information to increase HCC employees' fraud knowledge. The presentation will cover 4 objectives: defining fraud, explaining why fraud happens, providing information on ways to reduce fraud risk, and informing HCC employees on how to report possible fraud activity. And that will also be on Tuesday, March 5th. That's at 11:30. And the presenter will be Rodney Nathan, the ABC talent acquisition and performance.
That's right. We'll have more information, as always, in our post after the show. Okay, we've got a drama production across town. Oedipus Rex is the ancient story of a man who seeks to uncover the murder of a king, only to find out that he is that murderer, trapped by fate and doomed by destiny. Who writes this? For the last 2,500 years, Oedipus Rex has been seen as one of the finest of all Greek tragedies. But keep in mind, it's a tragedy. No happy ending there, folks. Don't want to give away the end. 7:30 p.m. Wednesday and Friday, March 6th to the 8th, and 2 p.m. Saturday, March 9th. It's at HCC's Northeast College's Codwell Black Box Theater. Check out our post after the show, and you can register and get some tickets. Also, February is Financial Aid Month, Montrose.
That's right. So since that's Financial Aid Month, it's the perfect time for considering a coaching session. So you can get a financial aid coach. They're private, confidential sessions that help students understand budgeting, to assess their financial aid package and refund, reduce their student loan debt, navigate student loan repayment, and emergency funding to help students stay in school. I wish they had that when I was in college. You can check the post after the show for more information.
All right, Eagle Promise. That's right. A degree for free. We're helping out our students. Eligible students have until September 30th to apply for the Eagle Promise program. If grants and scholarships don't cover the cost of a degree or certificate at HCC, Eagle Promise dollars will. This includes tuition, fees, and a book allowance of up to $500 for each semester. Check our post after the show on how you can register for this. And it's hard to believe we're almost in March. We're coming up on spring break, but yes, you can still take classes before the semester ends.
That's right. But you had me at spring break. Second Start has begun, so you can register now. HCC's spring Second Start classes have now started. And like all of our courses, they're either in-person, online, or hybrid. So you can do online anytime where there's no established class meeting times unless listed, online on a schedule where the meeting time is set and courses meet online. Hybrid, which is lecture classes meet partially face-to-face, and virtually. In person, of course, face-to-face courses, and hybrid lab, which are laboratory / studio courses. And to learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, go to hccs.edu/apply.
You know, I kept thinking spring break was next week, and it was like a bad joke. We still got another week to go.
Yeah, we got one more week to go.
One more week, but it's coming up, folks. We promise.
Fly by.
Yeah, it's not that far away. Do you have any shows on the way, by the way?
Not until May.
May. Okay. All right.
I'm,
You got to let us know when your next show is.
I will do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. Okay, so tomorrow won't be here. Shardae's running the show. Veronica Douglas will be joining her, and she's with HCC's procurement division. She'll be talking about that supplier expo we just mentioned a few minutes ago. And for Thursday Family Fun Day, we'll close out Black History Month with Galveston artist Reginald Adams returning to talk about his recent virtual event focusing on the African American contribution to the arts. All that is tomorrow. Going to be a great show. We'll have tomorrow, Friday, then we have the weekend coming up. So we're not that far from that. Montrose, thanks for being here this morning.
Of course, always a good time. Thanks for having me.
And thanks to all of you for watching the show. Join us live tomorrow, 10 a.m. for Up to the Minute.